Great news! You just moved to Klaviyo from your existing email provider. You have an existing subscriber base of 30k, 200k, or even more. Now, before getting all the Klaviyo good stuff, you have to warm up the account. Otherwise, your emails will land in spam. Customers might not receive your email. What to do during transition? Should you keep on using your existing email provider? How to make a switch? We'll discuss everything you need to know to warm up your new Klaviyo account. In this video, we'll cover the basic account setup required for warm-up. Then we'll look into how to import the list if you are migrating from other platform. Then we'll discuss your secret weapon for warm-up, that is automations. Also, why some accounts might not need to go through warm-up process at all. And in the end, campaign warm-up. We'll cover both cases in case you have engaged audience data or your audience is completely cold. Finally, we'll share 3 tips which might be helpful if you run into problems. Let's get started. Hi, this is Rahi. I help e-commerce brands with the retention marketing. Earlier, I ran my own 8-figure e-commerce store. I have worked with 50 plus brands to help them generate 34 million in last year. Before starting, you just need 3 things set up properly in your account. Number 1, custom domain provider. So custom domain is dedicated sending domain. Dedicated sending domain is available inside your settings, then email and in domains. Over here there is a dedicated sending domain. What we need to do is like to get started, if it's like abcd.com, so that's like your dummy store. So we just need to take like mailer.abcd.com, and once we press continue, then it will show this like a root domain, mailer domain, and what we need is like these records needs to be updated in your DNS provider. So once these are recorded, then you need to apply that. So once you press on verify, like Klaviyo will walk you through the process. So Klaviyo uses shared IP for sending emails. By setting up a custom domain, you are building reputation on your own domain. So that's the important part. Second is organization information. So organization information is required for CAN spam compliance. It's available in the settings in account area, and you have to set up a organization level information. So this is basically, so this is required for a CAN spam compliance perspective, and it will be picked and put up in the footer of the email. Now third is setting up a master list. So for setting up a master list, we need to create a new list, or you can use your existing list, the biggest list. We typically start with a master list. So master list is a first list, and over there we go, and 2 settings are required in master list. One is your consent setting. So basically, if someone's unsubscribed from a warm-up list or any other import also, then what we want is that they should not receive any other email. Second is opt-in process. We want to make it single opt-in, so we don't accidentally send out any confirmation email or anything like that to while importing the list. So these are the 2 settings which are required in the master list. Now once account is ready, now you would need a list of email addresses. There are 2 ways to do it. One is via settings, via Shopify, Magento or BigCommerce store integration. Second way is a manual import. We'll go through both. For integration, what we need is need to go into integrations tab. So in integration, you will be able to see all your integration, store integrations, either Shopify or this thing. Over here, what we need is like this, and we need to put it on master list. So we need to put it on master list. So this is subscribed, and then once this is updated, then we need to import the historical data. So we need to update the list. So once the list is updated, I think it will take to this thing. Okay. Yeah, so it's asking me to update the app. Yeah. So once this whole process is updated, then what we need is this thing, that we need to update this master list. Master list is sorted. Then what we need is like historical import. So historical import basically imports all the customer data. So basically we import all the recent customers, like customer data, recent 90 days order customer, like everything is imported. So you will have the list in the you will have your data updated in the list. Second option is to import the list manually. So to manually import, you need to go to your master list or warm-up list. Then you just need to upload the contacts. It will asks you for a CSV file, then you import a CSV file with email address, phone number, or any additional information like name and all those things, and you can just import the list from here. Because we have disabled the double opt-in, so there will be no confirmation email going to those people. Now we have the list ready. So before starting with the warm-up, let's look at the automation. Automations are your secret weapon in account warm-up. Klaviyo does a very smart thing. They use the same infrastructure to send campaigns and automation. That's pure gold. Some other marketing tools use different infrastructure to handle automations and campaigns. Klaviyo use the same infrastructure. You can use it to your advantage. So your automation reputation will flow into campaigns. Automations are great for warm-up. It's like naturally built for warm-up. It's sent email hour by hour in very small batches, have high open rate, high click-through rate, very low unsubscribe and spam complaints. We recommend setting up automations 2 weeks in advance before starting warm-up. Set up as many as automations you can. Welcome, cart, browse, post purchase, all are great automations for warm-up. Like for checkout, it's like 40-50% kind of open rates are there. For cart is similarly for browse. So typically automations tend to have a very good open rate and click-through rate. We have automation guide on how to set up automations in Klaviyo. You can find the link in the description. Yeah, now some people watching this might not need warm-up at all. If you have an account with less than 5k subscribers or multiple automations running over 3 months, in either of these cases, you can start sending regular campaigns without much worry. Max, you can break it out into 2 audiences or audience of 2 segments and send it over. Again, this advice is only for first party data, email addresses collected ethically, no bot list or unknown users. First party data means they have themselves given their email address on your website. Now in campaigns, if you have an engagement data from previous platform, start with that. Engagement should be like 190-day openers, 180-day openers, 4 or 5 star users in MailChimp. Don't stress too much about it. We just need one list of your best audience. It can be openers, it can be buyers or anything. It should not be more than 50% of your total audience and not less than like 10% of your total audience. For example, for total base of 100k, try to get an engagement list of 20k to 40k. You just need like 20-30% audience for warm up. If you don't have engagement data, then you don't need to worry. You can treat your main list as your warm up list. Now we need to break them up into small batches. You can break it up from Excel, but I prefer breaking it up from segments. It's easier, it's cleaner, and eventually we need to while sending campaigns, we need to use those segments in the campaigns. So it's easier to do it inside Klaviyo. So now in this case, what we had is like 30k subscribers, and for 30k subscribers, we broke them up into like from day 1, day 2, day 3. So basically the cadence is to start from 1000, then 2000, then 5,000, then 10,000, then 15 or 20,000. But it doesn't need to be like accurate 1,000 because we are doing through segments. So we can like have a 1500 or 20,000, 2,000 or this thing. But I felt like this is a cleaner. If you can get that like engagement data with that kind of a accuracy of 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. Otherwise, you have to do it on Excel, but I prefer to do it and it's not an exact count, like it can be in ballpark range, but basically the idea is to break it up into multiple segments. So, and the names are also divided into day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 kind of a thing. So we know that what campaign is to go, and then the 5 campaigns will go along in 5 days. Now we need to keep on increasing the frequency as we go along. For our next campaign, we'll run much larger batches and so on. Typically it takes 2 to 3 campaigns to get complete warm-up for audience size of 1 million. You can start doing like full audience send after 1 or 2 campaigns, max for small base. Lastly, tips that might be helpful along the way. Tip number 1, don't forget to suppress your existing unsubscribes and bounces in Klaviyo. Tip number 2, first few campaigns might have high bounce rate and unsubscribe rate. Don't stress too much about it. As your subscriber have not received email from you in a while, they might not remember you. It's just a natural way to clean the list. Ideally, we want to keep it below 5% of unsubscribe and spam combined. Tip number 3, if your open rates drop below 10% or 20%, then you need to pause all the campaigns, let the automations runs for 2 weeks, then start again with the campaigns. If you run into trouble with warm-up, reach out to us. We can help you to do it right way. I think the guide should be able to help you along the way. Please comment below with your experience or any questions about warm-up. If you find this useful, please subscribe for more such videos on email marketing and retention.